Hello. I see there are already a few people who cannot wait. Welcome to another segment of Who I Am by the Ice Academy of Montreal. And I see we have our special guest joined already. Let me see if I can add him here. There he is. And it says we're connecting. So it shouldn't take a lot longer, I hope. And
Hello.
there he is. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm great, Jamal. How are you? Thanks for having me on today.
I thank you for being with us, Scott. This is a life that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. We all know that you haven't been super active on social media, so it's a very great honor for me to have you
What
on here
do you mean?
with
I
the
don't
Ice
know what
Cream
thought
Show.
I was a guru.
Sorry?
I thought I was a social media guru.
Oh, you thought so? Well, let's see. Let's see. Scott, so yeah, people have been waiting to get news from you. I would really like to talk to you a little bit about what have you been doing since Pyeongchang?
Wow. It's so funny when you kind of look back, and now that we're a year out, hopefully from the Beijing Olympics, it's crazy that 3 years have passed us by. It seems like in many ways that Pyeongchang yesterday, but then when I see the pictures, and Tess and I were talking the other day, and in other ways it feels like it was lifetimes ago. But it's been a great little part of our life. I mean, Tessa and I were very fortunate to be able to tour, be able to get out there and skate and continue to celebrate those Olympic performances. Looking back on with touring with teammates, like Patrick Chan and Weaver Poget and Duhamel Radford and Osmond. So to be able to go across the country and make that tour with our I.AM family, the Thank You Canada tour. That has a special place in our heart. And then we decided, one day we were skating in Japan and we were loving skating, but we knew we were getting close to the end. So we decided to go one last tour. And then I already more than a year ago, we had our last show for Tess and I. And honestly, we just feel so fortunate to have had that opportunity, to have had such a fulfilling skating life. I think we'll always miss the feeling of taking center ice together, kind of having each other's backs, looking over and seeing our team, who go through all that, so much of it with you. But honestly, now life has taken different meaning, and the reason why we walked away from I guess competition. I don't know if we had a choice. I mean, the clock was ticking. The younger teams are just too good. And I think we kind of walked away to do other projects. So we wanted to make sure that our fans were getting virtue more quality. Hopefully, we were able to deliver that quality, and we knew that we just weren't able to put the work in and do the other projects. Going to school, working with a variety of different companies, crushing it, honestly. And then me, like I kind of wanted to give a bit more of my life to my family, to be able to be what I call a contributing member of my family, also to my fiance Jackie, to be able to be there for her and hopefully start our own family one day soon. So, what we're I don't know. It's been a little bit tricky. The pandemic. It's the timing of it was a little bit strange for us because I was coming home after Montreal Worlds, which, like everybody else, I was bummed about because we had really Tessa and I really started to be fans of ice dance again. For the first time in 20 years, we weren't watching figure skating studying. We were just appreciating the art and being able to watch as fans and really cheer on the athletes. And I think Montreal would have been such a great celebration for us. So we will still get that opportunity. So I can't even imagine what the athletes, with the city, with all the hard work that what they've gone through. I feel for them. Um, I can't even imagine what that's like. But after we had planned to do the Montreal Worlds, we were gonna take a break. We were gonna relax a little, Jackie and I, and try and settle back at home. We had taken a stint in Florida. Obviously, the pandemic made getting home a little tricky. Her being a frontline worker and a PA in the ER, so we had to kind of try and relocate back home and plan to kind of get married, take some time away, step away from the spotlight, and then it was a little strange when the rest of the world did the same because they were forced to with the pandemic. So now, we're still not really we're still not married, but hoping to kind of do that when the pandemic ends. Like we just want to have a wedding that has dancing. That's the most important thing to us. So you can't really do that in a COVID-19 world, and hopefully we're getting to the point with vaccines where we can push past it. Was that a long enough answer? Is that how am I?
I think, yeah, like this, I only have one more question for you. No, no, this is great. I mean, you and Tessa had really a fantastic career, and it's beautiful to hear what you were able to do after that. And of course, I know a lot of people are also interested what you're doing in your private life, and we all know that you had planned to get married, but as we know, COVID, well, Olympic gold medals don't shield anyone from COVID either, and especially from the effects that it has on your life. So you had to postpone your wedding. Tell us a little bit, how was 2020 for you? What impact did it have on you, and what were
Uh,
you doing?
uh, I mean, I'm really cautious to say that 2020 was a tough year because there are people who have some real problems, and COVID-19. The first I will say, like my family, they're safe, they're healthy. We've been really really cautious, but at the same time, fortunate that we haven't had any run-ins directly with COVID-19. Friends and coworkers for Jackie have a little bit, and have everybody has been affected or know someone who's been affected. It's starting to be more around, but we're lucky enough that that part hasn't touched us so far. I mean, we're going to keep being diligent, hopefully, and hopefully that can continue. But I will say the effects of COVID-19, I think, will go past the physical effects of the disease, of the virus. And for us, I know for me, I've been looking forward to being home in my small town and being in the London, Ontario area, and but I didn't think that I would be here and not be able to see anybody and not be able to be a member of the community. And I think it's really been tough on Jackie. I mean, we were used to being in St. Petersburg, Florida, and being out and going for great dinners in the great restaurants and breweries, and we don't quite have that on this little gravel road that I live on. So that's been a bit of an adjustment. And then, I kind of started working a bit more with my family because that was a big mandate for me coming home from Korea. Was I wanted to be a contributing member of my family, to give back to the people that were really there for Tessa and I in our career, and people I always counted on. So nieces and nephews first and foremost, as well as my parents, being able to be there and enjoy time with them. We were lucky enough to have them come with us on skating competitions and so on, but being with them a little bit more was really, really special. And also, we started this little Ilderton competitive program. Probably we started it a little bit. I was mentoring the kids as we were still skating, or mentoring the coaches a little bit, just what we were doing, training, and then started working on this Ilderton competitive program, which became our Ilderton Elite Skating School, which is what we're running, and it's been fun. We work kind of as a family, but we've noticed there's been this little influx of boys that want to figure skate, and because of that, ice dance teams. And Jamal, me and you, like, we came through the junior ranks at the same time, and when we were young boys, there weren't as many boys figure skating, and
Very true.
now it's becoming a real option. And in Canada, that's a country that's so dominantly hockey. It's been cool to see, and cool to see these young boys have a place where they can perform and enjoy the sport of ice dancing like I have. And so that was really my idea, to kind of give that back and to be able to do that as a family, and that's been really, really fun. I can't believe after so many years of support, what it's been like to work together as a team and learn. I mean, listen, my mom and my aunt put Tessa and I together. They have 40 years of coaching experience.
Hmm.
That's doing more years than Virtue Moore skated together. Times whatever 4. So there's a lot for me to learn, and it's kind of a blank slate. So that's been a really, really cool next chapter. It's been really enriching.
Very nice. That is really good to hear. Of course, people know also that you did start to work with the Ice Academy of Montreal a little
Hmm.
bit. You were involved in some choreographies. How is that for you?
Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like work is a tough word for those particular projects. Most of those teams that I worked with, all the teams that I collaborated with Mary France on, I trained with. I was able to. We had friendships, so to come in, I kind of had a good background on the team. Working with Mary France, I mean, we worked together on the tour. We worked together in these projects. I still say the watching Mary France and Tessa just kind of fire back and forth is, I felt like I had a front row seat to just pure genius happening. The brilliance and the ideas and the collaboration that came out of those two. So in many ways, working with Mary France feels kind of similar um, to working with T, where it's just like, I feel like if I just stand in the stratosphere of their brilliance long enough, great things just kind of pop up and are natural. Um, and that was the case with these two athletes, both with Maddie and Zach, and Lolo Nick. I mean, they're not young kids. They've been in the sport a long time as well. So you kind of mix in their personalities, and it was a ton of fun. Our work isn't quite done with some of these programs. Obviously, going to the World Championships, we keep going, and it keeps evolving, and that's what I love about both of these teams. I mean, they've been in it for so long, but they're pretty hungry, and they want to really be the best that they can be. So that has been a ton of fun. But I also, even though I wasn't involved in the choreographic side, I was also able to be there with a lot of the other teams. Uh, like Lala and be able to get in, and then some of the younger Emmy and Isa and Hannah and Ye, and just to see their energy and see what great talent Canada has coming up. And obviously they've been in the right stratosphere as well, seeing the school at the Ice Academy of Montreal, seeing what that being in the walls does. And honestly, for me, every time I get to go there, it's a little bit of a dream come true. Tess and I, we talked about it in so many interviews with anybody who'd listened to us, and we still are today. Those years in Montreal were the most fulfilling of our career. And maybe that's age, maybe that's knowing exactly what we wanted, but it was a beautiful way to approach sport, and I think is the reason that I'm still in the sport today. Is the reason why I get up excited when my feet hit the ground in the morning. I can't wait to get to the arena, and that's something special. I think after you've been running towards an arena for more than 30 years.
That is really great to hear. We're definitely always happy when we have you here in Montreal. Scott, am I right to say that you got kind of out of the limelight, of course, like every athlete, but am I right to say that you are in a very good place and that you are as happy as you were when you were a competing athlete?
Yeah, I think happier. I know that's tough to say. Being an Olympic athlete's really, I think it's a little bit of a selfish circle. And Tess and I were
Oh,
on the goal and being the best that we could be. Luckily, Patrice, Mary France, and Roman, they always challenged us to see the bigger picture, take a look at the art we wanted to create, and Do you want to, if you could be the best that you could be, but not win the Olympic, is that, what's your goal? And they always kind of challenge us with that, getting us thinking in a bigger picture. So I feel like it was just time. Maybe it's because our career was so fulfilling, but I think now, I don't think I could be skating anymore. I feel like I'm just so happy. I look back so fondly on that part of our life. I know T does the same when we chat about it. It's we like, you can't just have a 10-minute conversation. We go down memory lane and pretty quick, and
Okay.
you have so many beautiful memories. But now this next chapter, I think, is even more exciting. Listen, I kind of loved being in the spotlight, being able to be the best we could be, to put on a show, to get the encouragement from fans. But it did get to a point where, I was ready to step away, be a little quieter. As you said, maybe stepped out of the limelight for a little bit. But I also never lost that passion for the sport, and sharing that with the next generation is something that both Tess and I still have. So yeah, I think that's fair to say. Happier in this part of my career, I would say finding my balance. I always felt like uh, there was a price to pay in order to be the best I could be at ice dance. At least I felt that was the last 2 years. I think when we were skating at our best, and we also were well-rounded people, and that's what I think most people don't understand, that you can have it all. That's the scariest thing about life. So when we uh, when we focus in on that a little bit more, made that transition, that scary athlete transition, a little bit better. And actually, the craziest thing was January, February. Well, not February because we were already at the Olympics, but after Christmas, January, going into the Olympics in 2018, I had kind of had my head was starting to go past the sport already, and it was a lot of work for me and my mental coach JF to focus me on where I needed to be then. And I what a beautiful feeling to have really soaked up every bit of the sport, but now move on, hopefully with those experiences, and able to share that.
That is the plan, Scott. Thank you very much for talking to us. All of you who are watching, if you want to hear more from Scott, you guys know that the Ice Academy of Montreal is making an announcement live on Facebook at 6. Scott will be
Oh,
part of
they
it
are?
too. I heard so, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I was told you were part of it, so.
Well, I'll come over.
Okay, cool. And all of you guys watching, please come over too. Thank you very much, Scott. See you in a
Thank
bit.
you. Hi to the I.AM family.
Certainly. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
See everybody over there.